I just saw him a little while ago, but you saw Fico, right? So Fico of Slovakia looks like he's kind of, what do you call that? Dipping his toes, in the water as well. Thinking about maybe coming over to the other side. Interestingly enough, that would be a second EU country, a second NATO country that's saying, you know what? Maybe I don't want to be a part of NATO. Maybe I want to be with these guys. They got more resources. They've got a lot of other things that the NATO countries these days don't seem to have. That's a big development. He's actually making the case for the countries that are here in China who are literally turning their backs on the West. Because as Mr. Navarro has proven, the West has turned their backs on them. So they're saying, okay, two can play this game, right? So what would happen if suddenly we start to see the disintegration of this hegemony? What if suddenly, for example, we start seeing NATO countries decide to come over to this summit, right? Well, guess what? It's happening. Guess who's here at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit? And he's expressing a desire for full membership in the summit. Turkey. Turkey is Turkey. And that Turkey is seemingly saying, I mean, if you hear Erdogan, he's saying, I want to be a member. I want a member of the SCO, which is crazy. Well, because he's in NATO, and the people in the West are going to say, don't do that.
Neighborhoods, if they're joining SCO, why not in Turkey, right? So.
But imagine, Professor, if we start seeing NATO countries and EU countries say, I don't want to be a part of that dead organization anymore. I want to go over here and join these guys. They've got more money. I want to go be with the rich uncle. But wait, I got a better example for you. You want to see this? Here's Fico.
Okay.
Fico of Slovakia.
Yeah,
he's saying the same thing. Gene, play that if you could for the professor.
A new world order is being created, new rules for a multicultural world, a new balance of power, which is extremely important for international stability. Being part of such discussions means encouraging dialogue and not playing the role of an offended little child. This is somehow how the EU and its leaders behave today. The EU is just like the frog at the bottom of the well who thinks that the sky it sees from there is the entire sky. And we are happy with ourselves, which is extremely embarrassing.
The EU is playing the role of an offended little child. Did you hear that?
And also, it's a Chinese saying, 井底之蛙. It's from the see the sky from the well. It's like that.
Right.
So he borrows the Chinese expression.
Does it surprise you to hear him say that?
I work in Brussels.
Yeah.
You see the map, the world map of Europe. They put Europe in the center. So I think, oh, Europe is still big. But you see the Chinese map or any other world map, oh, Europe is just the peninsula of the Eurasia. I think it's small. So that's the reason I think the Fizzos tell the truth.
I don't know how many Europes you can put into Russia, but it's probably a lot. Have you seen them?
And you mentioned about Turkey. Turkey and Russia cheated by the West. No, Russia cheated because of NATO, no any interest with expansion. Right. And Turkey said,
Let's take Mr. Navarro at his word and consider his perspective that India should not buy oil from Russia because it hurts Ukraine. But then why would you single out India? Why not go after Germany or France or the rest of Europe? They're still buying oil from Russia. Sure, it's going through India, but they're still buying Russian oil. And how can you ask those countries to sanction India when they're actually getting their oil and gas from India as well that comes from Russia? But wait. If you think for 1 minute that that's very hypocritical, then get ready for this. You know who else is helping Russia by buying Russia's oil, even though they're getting it after it's refined through India? This is going to blow your mind. It blew my mind when I started reading this. Are you ready? Take a look at this headline. Take a look at this headline. There it is. The headline that makes everything that Peter Navarro says seem incredibly stupid. Does he know this? Let me read you what's in this article, and hopefully maybe you'll pass this along to Mr. Navarro. Quote, according to the Ukrainian oil market analysts, India supplied 15.5% of Ukraine's total diesel imports in July 2025. That's more than they get from any other country. Ukraine is getting its oil from Russia to fight a war with Russia. What? They average 2,700 tons of it. It makes July, interestingly enough, one of India's strongest export months this year to Ukraine. How rich is this? I mean, what? Is Mr. Navarro now going to sanction